Hello farmers, welcome back to Hinterland for the last time in the series. Headed over to the BGA with a tanker load of slurry. I need about another $200,000 to finish paying off the loan, and also to get rid of the just the original debt I have in the bank account, which is at nearly minus $14,000 because we had the John Deere Combine cotton module harvester for an extra hour, which some of you have said to possibly empty that out, that John Deere Combine. If I folded it up, it may have unloaded the extra cotton that was in there. Well, I can't try that right now, so we'll just have to, I would just say just give that a try for using that Combine itself. So I already brought the manure over here as well to the BGA, so I mean, we should be able to pay off this $200,000 here relatively quick because it is time to sell the cheese and the butter as well. So I'm going to sell that next. Where did I leave my low boy flatbed? I think I left it over by somewhere. Yeah, that's where I left it. Over by somewhere. I know it's going to the big selling lodge, which we hardly really ever used. Our own personal selling lodge. But we should have enough to go ahead and pay off the loan completely. And then, of course, get rid of the debt that we have here. And then the rest is just going into our bank account to do whatever we please with. Did I not leave the low boy over here somewhere? I thought, oh, there it is. There it is. I see it now. That's right. I dropped off the cotton and the wool at the end of the last episode. So I also got the sugar beet field finished harvested. That was over 800,000, like pretty close to almost 900,000 liters of sugar beet I got off that field. So a very, very good amount that went to the silos, so the next farmers will be happy. Which, by the way, the Franks will not be taking over this farm. Most have said, no, the Franks got to continue on with this. They're part of the family, so they're going with us. I'm not really sure who's taking over the farm here, but they definitely will have plenty to do here. Plenty of options. And a lot of money coming in. Let's get all the butter and cheese out of here first of all. Definitely going to be a few loads for sure, as we keep stacking it up. Might be full now. Yep, we're full. Alright, let's go get rid of the debt that we currently have in the bank account. The potatoes are over there as well. Yeah, really, I'm not leaving the farm in a great condition for the new owners, just because everything is, I mean, money-wise, yeah, they'll be just fine. But as for stuff being scattered about, you know, a lot of my tractors and implements need fuel, repair. It's kind of a little bit of a mess. It's not like I won't have the money to repair and refuel all this stuff. It's just that I really haven't taken care of it here at the end of the series as well, as I was kind of hoping to. But it is time to leave Hinterland. A lot of the work has gotten repetitive. You know, I've been pretty much done with Maizeplus for a little while. So it's a matter of, you know, just paying off the loan is all I really want to do. I never like leaving a farm when I got still money to pay off. So I want to make sure we get that all taken care of. So the butter and cheese, October is the best time to sell it. We're not getting the best price that we could have gotten for it apparently. So that might be happening over midnight from September to October. And I'm going to take a little bit of a shortcut over here because I can. And just doing the cheese and butter alone, we should be all set. I actually wanted to fill up the combine harvester that we're going to be using here in a little while. I wanted to refuel it, but since I was at minus 14,000, I couldn't even put fuel into it. So I hope I have enough to get the job done, but we shall see. I think we do. Load this back on up. So we got like 170,000 left on the loan itself. Ooh, this might be all the cheese and butter out of the factory, but the warehouse, of course, has got some. So let's go over there and grab it. Yeah, I was really hoping that the birch trees would have been at full height just to get us a better forest area over here. I don't want to say forest area, but you know, a little bit of you know, decoration around here, but they didn't really sprout up as fast as the oak trees did. Alright, so whatever I run across first, cheese or butter. And looks like butter. Got a lot of pallets in there. And I think I'm in the spawn area, but I'll try to give myself a little bit more room next time. Yeah, okay, we're on butter. We'll just spawn that. Alright, we're full-ish. Looks like I could have fit a few more pallets on there, but it must be the autoloader didn't load that great. Didn't leave enough space there. Yeah, so as for the series overall here in Hinterland, in the beginning I was very excited to get into the Maizeplus. But after using it for a while, it wasn't quite what I was expecting it to be. I was hoping it would be more. I thought it was going to be more in the sense of the way Seasons was in 19 with the grass work and the hay work. But, you know, it may not be to my preference. But as for role-playing and the way you could do it, it does, you know, I've always been excited about the way the game and mods give you options. And Maizeplus gives you a lot of options. So, I'm not that patient of a person when it comes to role-playing in the sense of let's cut the grass and don't ted it for 3 or 4 hours. Ted it to semi-dry grass, wait another 3 or 4 hours, and ted it to hay. I'm pretty much like, I need hay. Let's cut the grass and let's make it hay. That's the game play I would be looking for. But in the same sense, you might be saying, well, in Season 19 you'd had to wait time, but I don't want to say, well, you're kind of forced to in a sense. And I'm more happy waiting for the grass to turn rather than me being in control. If I'm in control of it, I'm going to do it instantly, probably. So, yeah, but Maizeplus does give you the amount of options, the way you want to do the grass work and all that, which is great. Also for, like, the cows, for the total mix ration, so many different ways you can make TMR. That was really interesting for sure. I kind of went with a simplified route of just giving them hay and silage because, you know, I'm able to. And for dairy cattle, that was 100% for them, so that's what we went with. I think it'd been a little bit more interested to me if some of that material I could have made on the farm, other than buying it. But so yeah. As for Maizeplus overall, I think it's a good mod, but I don't think it's a mod right now for myself to use. So unless there's an update to it, I probably won't be using it again myself. But you know, you never know. If they, like I said, they make updates to it or changes to it, I may dive back into it later on. At least I have a little bit of an understanding currently of how it works. Alright, so we are full again. And on this trip here, this should be more than enough to finally finish paying off that $10 million loan that we had, which we accumulated, I think around episode 2, we actually got up to $10 million. What really helped us out when, at the end of last season, or close to the end of last season, when I said, by the end of next season, can I have that loan paid off? It was the coffee beans, honestly, and I did not expect the coffee beans to produce as well as they did. I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't actually get to the roasted coffee beans, but losing money going down the production line, yeah, who wants to do that? I didn't. So I mean, if that was changed a little bit, I probably would have done the roasted coffee beans. But we paid for a factory that we never used. Actually, we paid for a couple of factories that we really never used. Too much weight. Sell the stuff in the front first. There we go. I know there's a couple of people that wanted the series to continue, but with the amount of fields that we have, that's plenty of work for me to do in the season. And to me, it felt like it was starting to get repetitive And really, I don't have nothing else to really achieve on here as far as I was concerned. Other than this right here. And ta-da! Loan paid off. I'll leave the other cheese and butter to sit out there and melt in the sun. But let's come over to here and get the last field that needs to be harvested. Well, to me it doesn't need to be harvested. It's all set, ready to go. So kind of a smallish corn header. I would rather go with a bigger one, but this is the header that comes in the mod itself. So I was kind of interested to see how the combine handles it. When I use a bigger corn header, we really max out on the RPMs and sometimes can't even get up to 6 miles an hour. But here, yeah, we're at 6 miles an hour, but we're still in the red on the RPMs. Getting way up there too. And I do believe we got the biggest engine possible in this combine. So it's not like, well, if you had a bigger engine in there, you probably wouldn't have much of an issue. But it's working, and we're harvesting corn. Yeah, if I was continuing the series the month of October, I would have to slow down even more so because the grass fields, the big grass field needs to be cut. That's ready to be harvested. I got a lot more products I could sell, make a whole bunch more money. I got a lot of repairing, refueling, washing vehicles and implements. Taking care of the animals. Oh, and I should mention, I just fed the cows as well. And the silage bales that I made a couple months ago have fermented, so I'm back to giving them TMR instead of just conditioned grass. The sheep panned out rather well. I think we got, finally, this would have been the year, and moving forward to where the sheep are making as much wool as I can get cotton off of a field. So making clothing moving forward would have been, the ratio would have been just about right for us. The chickens we did just because they didn't seem to make more eggs with the Maizeplus food add-on and all that stuff. Only the cows seem to be making more product than the average animals did. The sheep didn't make more wool, the chickens didn't make more eggs, but the cows definitely made lots of milk. And even though we added the chance for our animals to pass away, we never got there. Well, we got to an age limit on a couple of cows, but they survived so far. We got like another 15-20 minutes here, but they have survived, and they're doing well, I would assume, as cows tend to be when they're 5 years old. But I do like the way the farm turned out when I started putting down the sheds and all that stuff. You know, I was kind of unsure. I'm like, oh, that shed seems kind of big. But at first I was like, it's going to be big enough to house everything that I'm going to buy. And you know, it was plenty big enough. Even if I bought like the cotton harvester, had plenty of room for that in there. We got to try out a few other mods that probably normally I wouldn't have looked into. Like our planter that likes to dance. Every time I reload the game, it shifts over. I love that planter, although the cost is rather expensive for it. And of course, like I just said, it dances every time I reload the game. It shifts to the right. But overall, yeah, I did like the planter. I like the, you know, it functioned very well. I love the sound effects it had. But I know one thing, because I got a couple of DMs on Discord asking, you know, what next map are we going to. So I'm not going to reveal too much of what I'm doing there. You will see that first episode will go out. It's taking place of Hinterland. We're not taking anything from Hinterland over to that series. We're starting fresh. I don't know how it's going to go over. I will say that. But that's kind of true with any series. It might be just a little bit off-putting for the first few episodes, I think, for a few people. But we'll see how it goes. Haven't recorded the episode yet, you know, or even I got it somewhat set. I'm going to be doing that after I record this episode and get this video, start uploading. But yeah, I got to dive into it. Still got a few things to set up, and then I can get started on it. At least I made it around the headland here. I mean, how can you hit your trailer? The header's not that big and the pipe is twice as long. Got the man truck over here. Dump that all in. This corn will be going into storage, and we'll let the new farmers decide what they want to do with it. It's too bad that they don't have... we'll go to the stock market page to see. Yeah, we got about almost $2 million worth of material sitting here. It's too bad they don't have a value saying your farm is worth an estimated amount of money. So like if someone were to say, if I were to, you know, sell this farm to the next farmer's taking over, how much should I sell the farm for? Now, if I were to ballpark it, I'm guessing probably like 15 million. Because we got, you know, we just saw we got about $2 million worth of material sitting around I could sell. And, you know, we did have a $10 million loan, and I spent that money somewhere, right? So it's got to be put into the land, to the equipment, which of course has, you know, the value has gone down on that. So I would assume I would sell the farm probably for $15 million in the state that it's in. And the way the farm is producing money at this point in its established farm, if I were a buyer, would I buy the farm for $15 million? Well, I can see how much money that's being brought in currently, and I would know probably in a couple of years I can get that money back. Especially with the coffee beans. Coffee beans alone, I think, are making like $1 million a year, maybe even more. I think every 3 months we were making, yes, I might be actually making like $4 million a year. I think we were selling the coffee beans every couple months, and we were getting $600,000 for it. But the next series is definitely not going to be running a lot of production buildings. Currently, I'm saying we're going to be running 2, and that's probably it. But I'm kind of excited to get started. Oh, I'm always excited to get started a new series anyways, but I think this one will be kind of an interesting start. But I'm not going to reveal, like I said, I don't want to reveal too much what's happening. I want it to be like when the video comes out in a couple of days, you can go, oh, I see what he's doing here. Although it's nothing too... It's not like something that's completely that's going to smack in the face. Go, wow. It's just, I want to just keep it kind of a secret until then. That's all. So this corn header here that comes with the combine and the mod works rather well. But for, you know, the fields this size, I would rather have a corn header probably 4 meters wider, which I think this is a 9. I think this is a 9 meter, or is this a 12? Kind of forgot. Is this the 9 or the 12 meter corn header? Corn headers, and no, it's got to be a, no, it is a 9 meter, but it's confusing because it says it's got the 12 in it, so it makes me keep thinking it's a 12. Usually I would go with the 12. I've been wanting to try these, but I don't think this combine here can handle it for some reason. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, moving ahead in Hinterland, now that we wouldn't have a loan, so much money coming in, I guess the only options we could do with the money would be buy more land, but that just means a lot more work. But at least we got to use about half the map. Maybe just a little bit under half the map. I don't know, did I miss anything on the map that's further back? Like, I mean, no one has mentioned anything about it yet, so I'm going to assume there is like not a surprise back there. I mean back there, I really haven't been back on the right side of the map, the east side of the map. We've been standing around the village itself. Yeah, so those conditioned grass bales in the field there, I would normally be wrapping those up today and putting those into the shed. Same things we've always done in October, November. Get ready for the winter months. Yeah, this corn would last the chickens for quite a while. Although I did fail a little bit on the chickens also because they got all the soybeans that were left. So they would have to wait until next harvest season before they got soybeans again. But overall, it doesn't seem to affect their productivity, I don't think. And once again, I'm so used to trying to get close to the trailer as I possibly can with the header, because the header is usually about the same width as the pipe coming off. But actually, I'm going to leave this cornfield right here. We'll just pretend that I'll finish it off in between episodes, but since this is the last one, you'll just have to pretend I did. We got to do one more thing, because I don't want to leave here without doing so. I should be able to afford it now. We got the loan paid off, and I got 60 some odd thousand. I need to go into forestry equipment, and we're going to lease... I don't think it's going to matter what I lease. But I think I'll lease the one I always use just because. 24,000 lease it. Thank you very much. And we are going to go up on the hill to make sure I can harvest those stone pine trees. Because some do want to see those being cut down. Didn't get the tracks on this time, but... we'll zip on up through there. And we'll cut down a few. Even in the simplest thing, just for me personally, that I just turned the let's play here in Hinterland, planting the oak trees around the fields a little bit, definitely have made it more personalized, if you will. Don't know if anyone else has been playing along on Hinterland. Did you plant trees on your map? Some around the fields just to give you a little bit of color during the fall season. It's a lot of stone pine trees. Alright, that explains it. It's Z or Z to unfold the harvester. I was trying to hit X like on other implements, but nope. When I planted these trees, we planted them nice and close so I wouldn't have to go far. This tree type not suitable. Oh, so stone pine trees I can't cut even with this header. This is the biggest header that I know of in the base game. So let's see. This one will do 71 centimeters. Okay, it does 64. This one does 80. Let's see. Platinum expansion. That only does 70. That only does 65. That only does 58. That does 120. 750,000. Anything else I could try? Well, do I have the money to lease this? Just barely. All right. Yeah, so maybe there's a modded tree harvester out there that can do stone pines. So stone pines are bigger than 80 centimeters at the base. That is interesting. All right. How fast does this implement that? I mean, 4 miles an hour? I'll see you in about an hour when I get up there. Oh, wait, I hit 5. So maybe 55 minutes when I get up there. A slow journey, but we've made it. I'm ready to say, wait a minute, I don't see the cutter, and all of a sudden it disappeared. That got me nervous. We'll turn it on here. Let's see, let me change the length. Wait, how tall are these trees? 28? 27. So can I go like 9 meters? I can. This tree type is not suitable. So stone pine trees, apparently, you cannot do with tree harvesters. So the only option we got with stone pine is to use a good old chainsaw. And that's the problem when you plant trees too close to one another. Now they can't tip over. Where did it go? It's still caught up on itself. I can't even use super strength to get it out. Alright, so a few lessons learned with the stone pine trees. 1, do not plant them close together if you plan on actually planting them. 2, your only option currently that I know of, unless there's a mod out there, you have to use a chainsaw to cut them on down. Can I get that one out? Wait, how if I grab it here? Did I grab it? Apparently not. Well, this would have been a mess and somewhat of a not a disaster. So basically, I would have to do all this by hand. I'm glad I never really needed these. Ooh, are the tops of the stone pine like the other trees that you just hate to do because they don't disappear? Ah, okay, so that's why the tree harvester will not work on them, because the tops cannot be done with a tree harvester. Well, I'm glad I tried it out, so now I know in the future. Yeah, so stone pine, I did learn on Cylindra, gives you more liters per tree, but we didn't use a tree harvester there. We just cut them down with a chainsaw and then use a yarder to move them to the mill and process them that way. So it's not that the tree bases are too wide, it's because it can't delimb the trees at the top. It's too bad you still can't cut them down with a harvester, and when you get near the top, the harvester would drop it, and you would have to use a chainsaw to delimb them. So unfortunately for the farm itself, I just spent, I don't know, like, what was it, pretty close to 60 grand leasing equipment that I can't really use on these trees at all. But you know what? For science, now we know. So yeah, that is Hinterland with Maizeplus and Maizeplus food add-on as well. I gave all my opinions in the video, I think. Like I said, I think it's a good mod because it gives you a lot of options. But as for me, I don't think I'll be using it again, just because it doesn't fit my preference. And it seems like 80% of the mod is for like grass work, which I knew that going in. And after a while, grass work seems to be, we seem to be doing it a lot. So, but yeah, anyways, Hinterland with Maizeplus. And I don't think we even got up to, did I even get up to 130 cows? Which is kind of good because doing them the TMR mixer as much as we were, 112 cattle is what we're up to. Yeah, I heard you. And yeah, these ladies did produce a good amount of milk. We never ran out in the factories, which is good, even though we upgraded them quite a bit. So that was, that, you know, it was fun. But it is time to leave Hinterland and move on to other things and try out some other mods and such. But anyways, that is going to do it for Hinterland. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the series. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you in the next series in a couple of days. But until then, have a good one.